Well, we're still building up to that fancy dinner for two for Valentine's Day, and what would dinner be without a rich and decadent dessert? So today we are making some wedges of a chocolate cheesecake that we can plate up next week. Stay tuned and see how fun and easy this project is. All right, first let's talk about what clays we're going to use. We're only going to use 3 colors of clay to make the colors for our, quite frankly, decadent chocolate cheesecake for the Dollhouse dolls. We need a dark brown. I am using Suede Brown by Sculpey 3. We need a black, mine is a Primo Black, and we need a white, and this is a Sculpey 3 white because that's what I grabbed. So let's start at the bottom and work our way up. We are going to make a crust, and I'm actually going to pull a small piece of clay out of here. I don't need very much. We are going to go with approximately equal parts black and dark brown. You could use some, I have some broken off pieces. No, I don't. You could use Fimo chocolate. You could use any dark brown clay. The brand really doesn't matter, and you don't worry about getting exactly equal parts, just close. Put those off to the side. So I am going to get, I might as well use that piece too, and get these worked together. I want to get them to the point where there's no streaks of color. So let's put those off to the side for just a second, and I'll talk to you about the other color of clay we're going to mix. For our cheesecake itself, we're going to take some of that brown again and approximately an equal amount of the white. My white has yellow in it, so I'm going to have to get that off of there. But I'm going to then combine these two until they are a nice kind of milk chocolatey color, and get these two combined till they are a very dark chocolate crust color. When I have these combined, I'll come back and we can start building our cheesecake. All right, I've mixed up my clay. This is our equal parts black and dark brown. I added a little more. I wanted to make sure I had enough. I didn't feel like I had enough yet earlier. This is our dark brown and white, and this is just some of the brown by itself. So I'm going to put those two off to the side, and I mixed these as thoroughly as I could this morning. It's kind of cold out. My hands are a little sore, but I'm doing the best I can here with getting my clay mixed. So I'm going to roll this out, and I'm just using 2 plain craft sticks, 1 on each side, to act as a stop for my roller. Put that to the side. Now I have 2 craft sticks that are glued together, so I have 2 layers high, and I'm going to put that here. Not sure if my brown is as mixed as I would like it, but it'll just have to do. That. Put this over here. And this is, I believe it's a 1-inch cutter. Let me double check. Is it 1? Yes, it's about a 1-inch in diameter cutter. I'm going to cut straight down. I'm going to pull off our extra. And then I'm going to move this. Actually, let's leave this here for just a second. I do want to get this on it before I forget. This is just our brown. It's all by itself. And I don't need that much. For this, I don't want it really even. I want to kind of pull out. I want this to look like kind of like a glaze or a frosting or some icing that's been put on. It's a little too much. Let's cut back. Once I get this the way I want it, I'll point out what I was looking for here in my. I want it to look like it was just kind of spread out, but not completely covering. A little less, a little bit less. And I don't want a perfect circle because most of the cheesecakes I saw online that I really liked the look of, this top was just a little bit irregular. Yeah, that'll be fine. There, it's got irregular edges. It comes to the edge in some places, not in others. And now this whole piece needs to go in the freezer for 10 minutes so that when we cut it, we won't distort it. So I'll be back when this is nice and cold. All right, this is nice and firm from being in the freezer now, so I'm going to take my clay knife, and I'm kind of off because normally my face would be right here to do this, but since I want the camera to be able to see what I'm doing, I'm sitting back. And you will feel resistance when you go to push down with your knife. We're going to cut this into, I'm going to cut it into 8 wedges, but I'm only going to do 1/4 of it right now. Now, because this is nice and firm, it stayed looking really nice. Now I'm going to try to keep this under camera. First, I'm going to take some aluminum foil, just some crumpled up foil. And by the way, I set mine on a piece of foil in my freezer when I put it in there. I'm just kind of tapping the foil into the chocolate, the brown, the light chocolate. Hopefully my hands are not shaking to the point that you can't see what I'm doing. Let's see, I'm going to not stick my hand down on there. I am going to bring the camera down. I'm going to really attempt to keep this under camera. Now, keep track of which is your top and which is your bottom. Your bottom crust should be a little thicker than that chopped chocolate and darker. And then take your pointy tool and just kind of make little tiny circles in the surface. You don't want to go very deep, just barely touching the surface and just on that dark brown. And we're adding a crust texture. All the way around. This is very similar to how you would do a cake texture. So I am going to continue doing the other pieces. I'll go ahead and cut these two up into the appropriate sizes. Whoops, just put you back up so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to go ahead and cut these up. I'm going to texture everybody, and then I'm going to bake for 10, now I'm going to go 15 because they're a little thick, for about 15 minutes at the recommended temperature, and when they are baked and cooled, we'll come back and we will look at our cheesecake. All right, here is what our cheesecake looks like so far. I'm not going to put any kind of gloss on the top because I want to attach this to our dessert plates next week, because next week our video on Saturday should be me putting the steak dinner and the cheesecake all on their plates and getting them ready for the dolls to serve for Valentine's Day. If you enjoyed today's video, I hope that you'll push the like button, leave me a comment. What kind of foods would you like to see in future Saturday videos or on other day videos? What would you like to learn how to make for your dollhouse? If you enjoy my content and haven't subscribed, be sure and push that subscription button and the notification bell so that you know when I put up a new video, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.